I would say that we want to produce students who not only have the skills to be able to make art and to make art very, very well, but also to equip them with the cognitive skills to be able to think about art very critically. I think we live in an age where the question, what is art, remains perhaps one of the greatest questions in art to be answered. And so I think we want our students to really be able to not only be able to make something, but then to give a coherent statement and/or discussion as to why they make it, why they think it's valuable, why it's important, etc.
I think it's amazing here at Union to look at the way that bonds are formed between students in particular, just because this is to love one another. That's the sense that I get from the students, that they actually care for one another. They want each and one another to do well, and that's sometimes very hard to find in a in a community, an art community, outside of the faith community, I think, because there's a lot of competition out there, and yet we foster in our students to look out for one another, to encourage, and then to do good work. I see that happening, especially when students are up late night in their studios, and when I see that, and then discussions outside of class discussions happening, I think that's something that's very encouraging.
I expect students to gain an understanding of what it means to be an artist in today's world, which is a very difficult thing in general. But I also expect them to learn to be professionals in their field, and that's a difficult thing to put together, and requires a great deal of thought. I think they need to begin preparing for their career in the outside world the day they start at Union, and we try to make that happen in a variety of different ways.
You definitely have the classroom experience where it's much more formal, you can ask questions, you can enter into different dialogues. But we love to keep more of an open door policy with our office hours and things like that. And so students are free to stop by and to talk and chat. Go grab a cup of coffee over Barefoot's Joe. And so we try to create a community where you have both formal and informal opportunities to meet together, to get to know each other. And it's a fun place to be.
I love teaching at Union. It was a huge privilege to be able to be back as a former student and teaching at my alma mater and teaching with the people that taught me. And I love that look on a student's face when they get it, when that light bulb goes off, or that they connect the dots and see the history of where design came from and where it's going, or where art came from and where it's going. When they get into their first gallery show and have their own successes, or land that internship that's so wonderful off in a faraway place, their successes are my successes, and that's my favorite part of being a professor.
I'll tell you what I tell all my students, prospective students, they should absolutely look at a lot of programs. It's just a critical decision in your life. Many of the major decisions you'll make, lifelong decisions, if the stats play themselves out, you most likely will find your spouse at college. You'll decide on a career path that will carry you forward for at least 10 years. So it's a critical decision, and every school you visit is going to tell you the same thing we're going to tell you. We're the best, come here. But there's one key that can answer that question clearly for you. Look at student work. There's no denying the truth that will come out in students' work. People know good work when they see it. Your mother will know it, your father will know it, and you'll know it. And when you do that, I am absolutely fearless in that regard, because I know that our student work will stand up with anyone's, secular or private, anywhere. So I would encourage you in your pursuit of higher education. I would encourage you to go in it with all seriousness. And then I feel very confident that that Union will remain on top.
One thing that I learned about being an artist since I came to Union was that art is hard, and being an artist is hard. You're constantly going to want to quit. You're constantly going to think that things are too difficult, it's too demanding, but being around other artists and being around a faculty that encourages you every day, day in and day out, no matter where you are, you're always encouraged by the other art students and the art faculty, and just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not worth it.
I think actually one of the best things about the art department at Union is the community. We're like a big family, and it's not even just kept to your own particular emphasis. I feel like we have great community across all the emphases, which really helps you be better in your own particular area of study. And then there's a lot of opportunities to get to know students who are further along than you are, which is really helpful.
Spending so much time with your classmates brings us all very close. And while I have friends outside the art department, my friends inside the art department seem to be my best and closest from the time I spend with them.
These people here, they help you grow as so much more than an artist, but also as a person. And I can't really describe it, so you're gonna have to come and find out for yourself.
Warden. I graduated from Union in 2010. While I studied ceramics at Union, what I really enjoyed most about the program was its skill-based curriculum. It really gave me everything that I needed to know to pursue ceramics further after graduating from Union. Another thing that I really liked about the ceramics program and the art department in general was the amount of time that all of the professors invested in us to succeed and to help us get to the places that we wanted to go after graduation. With both encouraging professors that invested in my life and the skill sets I learned from Union, both of those things prepared me for experiences I've had at Airmont School of Arts and Crafts in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Anderson Ranch Art Center in Sumac Village, Colorado, where I worked with artists that are international and nationally known. Overall, all of those experiences have prepared me to build my resume and my portfolio in hopes to apply to graduate school in the near future.
Yeah, it's a great video, but you're not in it. Come and join us here at Union.
From the inside of